Hey guys, so as promised, I got my blood work back and I'm going to reveal it to all you guys. So let's go ahead and get started and see what happens because you might be surprised. Because I know some things surprised me as well. Alright, so if we go over here and look at my blood work, we're going to pull up the CMP, the Comprehensive Metabolic Panel. And here we'll see stuff such as my liver enzymes and my electrolytes. And you'll see starting off sodium. If you guys can remember, I was dumping the salt down on all my food. So, and my friends say my steaks were a little too salty, but I thought they were pretty great. Anyways, my sodium levels were 142. So they were within range, 135 to 145. That was before anyways. So what happened after eating these steaks every day? They went down. They went down. They went down. Anyways, so now they're 140. They went down 2 points. Not much, but you'd expect it to go up, right? No. Our bodies need salt, and it'll eliminate the salt that we don't need. For most of us, anyways. Anyways, if you have kidney disease, maybe stay light on the salt. But okay, so let's go back. We have stuff as potassium and chloride, and luckily, they were in range before, and they stayed in range now. I know you're probably surprised because I never ate any fruit or anything during these 30 days, but my potassium was 4.2 for these 30 days and only 4.3 before, so you could say that's margin of error. You're going to get some potassium in meat, and when you're not eating all these vegetables, having all these oxalates, they're not pulling out the calcium and the potassium, so your body's using more of it, and the more salt you use, the more electrolytes you retain. So that's as simple as it is. So all my electrolytes were pretty much in range, as you can see here. Everything stayed within range. So let's go to something a little more interesting. Some of my kidney tests, like creatinine. Creatinine was 1.02. You would expect on an all-meat diet that this would go up. I had people tell me that your kidneys are going to fall out eating like this. No, I don't have kidney disease, so I don't have to worry about my kidneys falling out. So anyways, my creatine after eating this diet was 1.02, so still well within range. And even before, it was 1.06. So my creatinine went down after eating all steaks and eating lots of salt. So my kidneys are actually functioning better. So if you use that as a marker, there's better markers than creatinine. But what I'm saying is, as that alone as a marker, my kidneys are functioning better. But here's where something gets a little interesting to me. Everything is still in range as far as all my comprehensive metabolic panel goes. My ALT and AST did raise quite a bit, honestly, but they were still in range. But as you see, my ALT was 30, and my AST ended up was 20. So what happened? Well, my ALT went all the way up to 52, and my AST went up to 43. So they did raise quite a bit. I'm not really sure why. There's many things that can raise your AST and ALT. So could have been something I was doing, could have been stress related. I'm not really sure. But as far as every other enzyme and electrolytes go, I'm good. So if that interested you all, good to know. So next up we have my ferritin. If you don't know what ferritin is, it's your body's stored iron. So let's see. Beforehand, my stored iron was 55.5. I'm not going to lie. I donated blood before this one happened. So yeah, with blood donations, your body loses a little bit of iron. I try to do that because I keep a little bit of a higher iron anyways. And I'm also on testosterone replacement therapy. And TRT will boost your red blood cell count. So I donate blood to lower my red blood cell count. While it's been a little while, it's been maybe since December since I did that. But, so let's go ahead. So my ferritin beforehand was 55.5. And my ferritin after was 96.2. So it almost doubled. So I got a lot of iron in this diet, which was to be expected. But the reference range is 30 to 400 nanograms per milliliter. So I'm still well within the reference range. If anything, I'm still in the bottom 25% of the reference range. So I'm not worried. I don't want my iron to get stupid high though. I do not want to be having an iron in the 300 range. There's been plenty of studies that showed people that live longer with low iron and lower risk of cancer and all-cause mortality with lower iron levels. I have the theory that it could be partly why women live longer, because they let blood, and there's also been studies that show that donating blood can actually prevent a heart attack. So that's one of the other reasons why I donate blood. I'm going to do it again Tuesday, and you'll see why I'm going to do it again Tuesday. So ferritin's still good, so I'm not iron overloaded. So up next we have hemoglobin A1C, and I thought this one was very interesting. So hemoglobin A1C beforehand was 4.8. So what hemoglobin A1C is it's the marker that shows how much glucose your body has held over time. I can't remember the exact amount of days, if it's like 30 or 60 days, but it's the marker that shows how much you've held over time. So this is where it gets really interesting and weird. And I want to state, when I did this last blood work, I was doing like a low histamine diet with also not eating foods that have food sensitivities to. Because I did a food sensitivity blood test to see what all I had food sensitivities to. So it went down quite a bit with that, and had some of the best blood work I ever had with that. So what happened after eating ribeyes for only 30 days straight? Well, my hemoglobin A1C went up. Like, how is that possible? This is a measure of over time. Unless it was like high the time prior, I don't understand how it went up. But it's 5.1 and still within range. And it went up 0.3 points. So that's not really like scary. But there is a history of diabetes in my family. And yeah, I don't know why. If any of you guys in the comments below know why, let me know. And one thing I forgot to show, but I'll go ahead and tell you, what was more interesting about this hemoglobin A1C is that my blood glucose also went up that morning. So my original blood glucose, these both times were fasted, was 90. And this time was 99. So I don't know why it would have went up 9 points. My only theory behind it is, a week before this blood work, the doctor started me on ipamorelin and CJC, and them both being growth hormone releasing secretagogues, could have increased my blood sugar. So if they increase my blood sugar a little bit, it's very well a possibility. If you guys think it may be something else or have any other ideas, please let me know, because why would my blood glucose go up 9 points, and why would my hemoglobin A1C go up 0.3 points when I'm only eating steaks and meat and nothing else? Unless my body is just converting protein into glucose like crazy, I have no clue. So let's move on. So the next one is uric acid. I talked to somebody like, you're going to get gout eating that much meat. Well, my uric acid beforehand was 4.0. And as you see here, the reference range is 3.4 to 8 milligrams per deciliter. So what is my uric acid after eating only steaks? 4.6. Not much of a change, and I'm still well within the middle of the reference range. And no, I did not get gout, if you was wondering. So, we got a couple more things left, and I know what y'all are mostly interested in, and we'll get there. As far as that goes, I'm going to cover a couple other things. So you might be wondering, did I test my testosterone and estrogen? Well, no, I didn't. And as I stated earlier, I am on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I take about 120 milligrams a week. And to be honest, there ain't nothing I'm going to do diet that's going to really change that much or how it reacts in my body, because I'm taking it exogenously. It's not my body producing it. It cannot produce testosterone anymore. So, well, it can, but it's like, last time I got tested when I didn't take testosterone, it was like 50 nanograms per deciliter. So it was like super low. And even before that, when I was like 21, 22, I got tested, it was like 200 nanograms per deciliter, and then I got on TRT. And that really did change my life. I can make a video about TRT if y'all are interested. But let's go ahead and end this subject right now and go on to look at some of the other markers here. But I just want to explain why I did not cover those. So up next, we have my insulin total random. So testing your total random insulin fasted is a good way to see if you have insulin resistance. Honestly, a better way than checking hemoglobin A1C or blood glucose. So beforehand, I was at 11.6, as you see here, and well within the reference range, good healthiness. So afterwards, this is where it gets really cool. I went to 3.4. So I'm obviously super insulin sensitive. So I'm almost at the very bottom, 2.6 being the bottom. I'm surprised. Like some doctors are like, oh my God, you're diabetic when it's that low. But no, I'm just really insulin sensitive now. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so we're getting to the good stuff now. You finally waited long enough. So it's going to be my lipid panels. So beforehand, let's just show you guys what my lipid panels were like beforehand. Cholesterol was 170. Triglycerides were 76. HDL was 46. Cholesterol was 3.7. The ratio was 3.7. And LDL was 109. So all within ranges. And honestly, as far as every blood work I've ever gotten, this was the best cholesterol work I had ever had. And it was due to doing that antihistamine, anti-food sensitivity diet. Nothing else. I don't care what doctor says when they say that diet does not affect your cholesterol. This right here is proof that when I did that type of diet, my cholesterol went down because it was slightly out of range and increased. My HDLs were lower. You can change this stuff with diet. Do not let a doctor lie to you. They don't, and they're not really lying to you. They just don't know better. They were probably following old education and stuff like that. Well, there's new stuff out there that shows that diet can affect it. So let's see what happens with my cholesterol after I ate only ribeyes for 30 days. Oh boy. So my total cholesterol went up to 223. So my total cholesterol went up 53 points. And it's now red, as you can see here. My triglycerides even went up, which is weird because that's kind of a sign of inflammation. And I don't know why they would have went up, but they were 115. And beforehand, they were 76. Well, I do know why they would went up. Because I was literally on such an anti-inflammatory diet. It makes sense. And I may go back to that diet eventually, but I got a few more experiments I'm wanting to run. And my HDL cholesterol beforehand was 46, which actually went up 1 point, 47. What do you know? And then my LDL cholesterol was 153. So that is decently high. But honestly, that doesn't freak me out. And the reason why that doesn't freak me out is your LDL cholesterol, a lot of people refer to your LDL as your bad cholesterol, your HDL as your good cholesterol. But there's been a lot of studies that show that HDL doesn't really help much when you have a higher HDL. There's conflicting studies anyways. There's some that do, some that don't. And then the LDL, there's people in their 80s that have never had a heart attack with LDL in the 200s, 300s. It's all about the particle size of the LDL. So you want big, fluffy LDL particles. They won't have the ability to stick to the arteries and all that. So if I could have gotten like lipoprotein little a or C or anything like that tested, I would have. But as far as that goes, I'm not too concerned. I have seen much worse on my blood work. I did the Paul Saladino carnivore where I ate whatever I wanted once and added fruits and vegetables in. And I don't know if it was just the sugar or the fact that I was eating like 12 eggs a day that really boosted my cholesterol. Because you're not supposed to convert dietary cholesterol into actual blood cholesterol. But I think I might be one of those people who dietary cholesterol does affect, which is very few. Saturated fats, on the other hand, will convert into cholesterol. So with the steak diet, I'm getting a lot of saturated fat. So I did have some conversion, obviously. And if I went back on the other diet, it would go down. So that is therefore proof diet does affect your cholesterol. It really offends me when people say diet doesn't affect their cholesterol. That it's genetic and you can't change it. That is a lie. So anyways, as far as it goes, that's my blood work. If you guys have any questions about it, if you want me to do any more videos discussing blood work and discussing panels, how like what they mean, how to read them, I could do that. As far as that goes, I could also do a video about TRT, as I mentioned earlier, if you're really interested in testosterone replacement therapy, why someone would do it, why someone wouldn't do it, and other things to try to boost testosterone naturally. I can do videos on that. As far as that goes, though, the Carnivore series is over. I do have some new stuff coming out that might be interesting to you all. Just keep following me and looking out for the videos. It really helps if you hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notifications of when I post new videos. Because the more people that watch, honestly, the more inspired I get to make more stuff. If I feel like nobody's interested in any of this stuff, I'm going to probably end up stop making it. As of right now, I am having fun editing videos and making all this stuff. So till then, there's going to be more videos. Just any help that you guys can offer, comment down below, a like, subscribe, anything would be greatly appreciated, because I'm just starting this channel. I'm learning the whole YouTube thing and learning the whole editing thing with Adobe Premiere, and trying to educate others about health, and also continually educating myself about health. So as I learn, you guys get to learn, and whatever you guys learn and you feel like you disagree with what I've told you, go ahead, comment down below, let me know. The comments are a free discussion, open discussion board. Nobody should hate on anybody's beliefs. And just because we believe differently doesn't mean that we can't have an educated, well articulated conversation. So anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for following the series. And I do have a new series I might be coming out with, or it might even be a documentary. But be looking forward to that. In any way, see you guys. Performance Aspect out.